Good morning, folks. We've got electroquake research, including on animals sensing them before they happen. At Dark Matter's expense, we will laugh and we'll look at the first Japanese confirmation of something most veteran observers know. We're starting at spaceweathernews.com, and we find the last day on our star with more tiny bright points yet to develop, patchy coronal holes at mid-latitude, and we see the southern polar coronal hole so much better at the moment because in just 2 weeks, Earth will be 7 degrees south of the solar equator at our southernmost heliographic position all year in orbit. This one, and the northern max in September do tend to begin earthquake seasons in the Ring of Fire. Meanwhile, looking at the solar wind shows the full evolution of the intensified stream. Purple plasma speed rose, crested, and is coming back down this morning as geomagnetic conditions expectedly explore the nether regions of the chart. After noting the big cold snap coming for the eastern half of the country, the Weather Channel went back and remade their March forecast for the states. The jet position may lock in, as the cold set to grip the end of the month may last well into the next one. Well, folks, we've seen this now more times than we can remember. Total electron content variations before earthquakes. We just saw the article on this in the journal Science this past week. They all involve the aspects of the global electric circuit, which is why we also see temperatures and long-wave radiation anomalies too. And this global electric circuit is tied into the solar system circuit through our electromagnetic systems as a planet. Now, you may have heard that animals can have drastic behavioral changes leading up to seismic activity, and it turns out the electrochemical effects of the changing electromagnetic environment are affecting animals at a cellular level. Virtually everything in terms of cellular processes involves charge or ion exchange, sort of how we see ongoing before, during, and after earthquakes between the ground and the ionosphere. And the biological beings in question are sitting amidst the electromagnetic system in question for these events, with entirely electromagnetic body systems, and they're focusing on the ion channels through the cell membrane, just as the meteorological forcing takes the electric pathways or ion channels through the atmosphere. Let's take a stop over at the Large Hadron Collider. You know, every other day, scientists come up with some other physical description of dark matter. Luckily, for the most part, there's tons of data at the detectors that they can look at and scour through to see if something matches their hypothesis. That's this here. There have been even more of these types of looks than actual detector experiments performed, and yes, the failure of dark matter still holds. And isn't it fun that all it takes to publish in this field is to come up with some wild idea about the particles, look at the data, not see what you're looking for, and then claim it's because CERN isn't powerful enough to see it? Why do I feel like they're about to ask for more money? Anyway, we're off to find the first Japanese confirmation of what we know happened around the world during the last little ice age: societal breakdown. From the 1 million death famine spanning India, China, and multiple places in Europe, to the reports of rampant cannibalism when the crops failed, there's no place and no people immune to unrest when life becomes difficult. Survival instinct is a heck of a thing. So a couple things here to close. My wife thought my drop joke was funny yesterday, so today she said, last day for the discount sale. Last day. You hear me, Adam? Last day. She's funny. And our new packaging for the hoodies does look awesome, I must say. And now for a very serious request. If there is even one of you out here that knows the answer, I'll be thrilled. Basically, how do we get Google to index our upcoming textbook and properly account for the citations of the more than 450 papers used to write it? You know, when you directly search the name of a paper, it's got that cited by number beneath it. Every single one of the 450 plus papers we used in the book deserve to have their numbers go up by 1 when the book is released, and clicking on that to bring up all the citing works should also bring up the textbook itself as one on the list. I think we've probably got both some Google Scholar policy and procedure research to do and some website coding for an abstract page. This is the most obscure and difficult thing I've ever asked for help with, and I do apologize about that. Folks, we greatly appreciate your support. We've got wind map forecasts and shots of our star to close, and of course, we'll do this all again tomorrow, right here, but right now it's 4:20 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.